Welcome to another Inside Lansing, where today's guest is Dr. Sophia Jones-Redmond, Superintendent for District 215. Dr. Jones-Redmond, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, and I just want to talk about, probably first and foremost, a little bit about COVID. That was a big deal for us, big deal for everybody. Some people probably don't realize that you guys had a mass vaccination site. How did that come about?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you again. I talked with you last year. We were back here. I'm glad that we made it through the first year.
Yes.
The call came out. They were looking for high school districts to host a vaccine site. I responded to the email, and they set up a visit to come and do a site visit to see the feasibility of our location. And the rest is history. But what else happened that helped a lot is I used to work for Cook County Department of Health. So some of the same people that they knew, I knew, familiar faces, and it just went from there. And in fact, they didn't go visit any other high schools after they visited us, and we started, and over 27,000 vaccines were administered.
So it wasn't just the area, but it was a general area.
It was
kind
the
of
general.
much bigger.
The goal was to make sure that all educators or staff that worked in the school districts in the Southland area had access to the vaccine, and we did that, as well as all of the municipalities around. We were able to help the firemen and women and the police, the mayor's office, and you.
Yes, and Channel 4 as well. So we got our vaccinations there. I know I did.
Yeah.
And we were very proud of it too. We were making sure to get some coverage of it, and it's just something, part of history that was made right here in Lansing.
That was great.
So talking about that, now we're coming up to new school year. Are the kids going to be back in the classroom? That's probably the big question that people are wondering.
Right. We are planning on being fully in person from day one, which is August 16th. I'm hearing that the directive from the governor is for all of us to be back in person. I think we are prepared. We will be offering weekly COVID testing to our students and our staff if they like to take the test. And of course, we're continuing to encourage vaccinations. Mm-hmm. We all will be masked up, whether you're vaccinated or not.
So masks will be mandatory?
It will be, definitely. So we're ready. We're ready. My main concern is not necessarily with COVID. I think we've done an outstanding job. We haven't lost anyone in the district. We have had cases, but everyone, they're well. My concern is what type of student we're going to receive in the fall. The mental health, we're making sure that we're equipped to work with our students and building relationships and rapport with them because we just don't know. Half of our students would have not been in the building possibly. We have new freshmen who have not been in the building, and we have incoming sophomores who had a limited time in the building. So that's 50% of our students that are pretty much new. So not only the mental health of our students, but also our staff. They've gone through a traumatic experience, and they've rose to the occasion and made remote happen, and returning in person and during the fourth quarter happen. And so we're looking at the whole person.
And that brings me up to the question of remote learning, e-learning, if you will. It's something that kids got used to, and even maybe the teachers a bit. I'm sure there's quite a few who'd rather just get back to the classroom.
Sure.
But my thought process there is there going to still be any sort of remote learning going on, or is that kind of done?
It's for the most part done. The directive from ISB is in person, and on limited number of cases, we can look individually at cases to determine if someone qualifies for remote learning. We also have homebound, which kind of crosses over into that arena as well. But we're encouraging in-school as well as after-school programming. We received the stimulus money, and that one of the caveats of receiving that money is that we're supposed to have a robust after-school and summer school program. So we're looking to beef up our programming.
So, we're excited to see that. And talking about that, what are some new school programs coming up this year we might want to know about?
I'm excited. First of all, I'm excited that we are coming back full-throated. I'm looking forward to meeting the students and talking with them and new staff and returning staff. We have been working diligently looking at how we can provide more offerings for our students because they definitely deserve it. We have a pilot that's going on and that will start in the fall with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. So we're going to have an electrical program. It's guaranteed for 2 years, and they're paying for it. They're providing the teacher, we're providing the students and the room.
Oh, wow.
And I'm excited about that. We did a site visit at one of the sites in Alsip, and they were working on solar panels and HVAC, and so it's just not learning just strictly electrical. It's broader. And so we have a waiting list already for students to be in that program. The other program that I'm excited that we're offering is the cosmetology barbering program that will start in the fall. That will be housed at TF North, but is open to all students as well as the electrical program. We have a barber teacher and a cosmetology teacher. They had a boot camp this summer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was outstanding. It was outstanding. We're starting off with 24 students in that program. And the goal is to get them through, and once they finish the program with us, that they can obtain their license. So that's exciting. Another program, we received the Career Pathway Grant, working with our students to become future teachers. So that started this summer. We have 2 outstanding teachers, Mrs. Lesner and Ms. Bivens, who were the teachers for our students.
Okay.
And so they work with them over the summer, and those students who are in the Future Teachers program, they tutored the feeder school district students
Okay.
this summer,
Wow.
and they were given a stipend for that, so it was a job as well as an experience, and it was outstanding. So we're really appreciative to have that.
Just so many great new things to look forward to. I know another new thing that's probably a little bit more hot topic, but would be interesting to talk about is just let people know what's happening with the new mascot. I know that there's been some back and forth as to what they want to do, so maybe you could let people know a little bit about what's going on there.
Sure. And I'm thankful for everyone who worked on the renaming this past year. As you know, the vote failed last month, and that's okay. One message I want to give out is that we're going to get it right. And we're not in a rush. I think some people feel like, let's get this, but we have to get it right. So starting out the first, the new year, we're going to focus on our students, our staff, the mental health, academics, getting back acclimated. And so we'll pick up the discussion in the second quarter.
Okay.
So the first quarter will be just devoted to relationship building, getting back to school. I told Mr. Gurley, let's just start in the second quarter having a process, and that everyone agree on the process, even having our board vote on the process, so that this is the established process that we're all going to follow to the end.
Right.
So that's the goal. We want to, of course, have a name by the end of the year or before. So that's our goal.
Speaking of the school board, it's something that people probably don't, you know the school board's there, but some people don't think about it. How has it been with you and the school board, the new school board, like working through things?
The former board is the board that hired me, and I'm grateful. The current board, it's been wonderful. We have 3 individuals who are either former or current teacher. So that's been very helpful. We have representation from every community. We have, of course, someone from Lansing, couple of Lansing residents, Linwood, Calumet City, and Burnham. We also have our first African American male on the board, Dr. Dodd. And so we're working through learning board rituals, board policies, and things like that. So we're working with the Illinois Association of School Boards. We've had several trainings. There's a lot of acronyms and abbreviations in education, like SPED. What does SPED mean? So we've had to make sure that our new boards are acclimated and ready to go. But they're awesome people. They haven't said no to anything I've asked for yet. I'm sure maybe that'll happen one day. Yeah. But they totally are supportive of the vision. They see where we're going, and I think we're doing a great job. They're great leaders, great listeners, just practical.
What could we look forward to in the future for the school?
Wow. Well, my goal is to make sure that we continue to offer options for our kids, for our students, whether that's technical, career, education path, academic path. I want the students to have options before they leave here and be prepared. One of the goals, and the board agreed with this, we have a new department, the Career Development Department, brand new. Never had that before. Have a new assistant soup in charge of that, a new CTE director in charge of that, and that's a department that will be focusing on our students who want to go into the trades. So I think what you're going to see is more of a balance of academics as well as trade. I would rather a student get out of high school making $80,000 than going to college and being in debt $80,000. But both paths, it depends on the student. So I want to help support that. We're increasing our dual offering, the Future Teacher Program. That is actually a class that students will be taking in the fall and in the spring, and that is a dual credit class with South Suburban. So we're excited about that.
I could probably sit here all day and talk
You could,
about,
I could too.
about all of it, but we only have so much time,
Right.
and I really just have one more question for you, which is just, what do you love about being superintendent for District 215?
I am really honored to be the superintendent. Came in during a pandemic. We're still under a pandemic, but the staff, the community, your mayor, I mean, we had a prom at Fox Point. All of these things were made possible because everyone kind of came together, and I love that. My staff, they see the vision, and I tell them if you're not going anywhere, no one's going to follow you. So I'm going somewhere, and they are following, and they're rising to the occasion. But this community has embraced me, and I feel very supported. I feel supported, of course, by my board, the staff, the teachers. Even if there's something that they disagree with, it is respectful disagreement, and we could come to terms with it. But I love it. I really do. I will be here another 5 years, so if I didn't love it, I wouldn't have agreed to remaining here for 5 years. And I hope to retire from this district. But everything has been working out, and just seeing the progress relatively quickly.
Yeah.
We're working with 6 other districts on developing a regional career center in the Southland area. And that would encompass several programs, including aviation, urban agriculture, IT, public safety, learning how to be a police officer or a firefighter. Your mayors, all of the mayors have written a letter of support for that. That's and the fire department and police chairs, they've written a letter of support. And so it's just not 215. We have to be in collaboration with other districts and maintaining that type of relationship. Absolutely. So I'm excited about the future.
Great, and we're excited to see it happen here, and we will definitely have you back on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here. So, Dr. Sophia Jones-Redmond, I'd like to say thank you again for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Inside Lansing.